What's up, guys? It is Gray, aka the Kagure, and I'm excited to be here today because we got a sweet chapter, or a potentially sweet chapter. No, it is. It's just a cool chapter nonetheless. My next chapter could be even crazier, potentially. Minor spoilers in the thumbnail. I had to do it. What can I say? Honestly, Rick, real spoilers coming, by the way. So, don't watch this if you don't want to be spoiled for the My Hero Academia manga. Then it was chapter 319. Also, if you like the video, you should subscribe and like or whatever, because I'd never say that unless it's the very end of my videos, and no one watches that far. I don't blame you, but help a brother out. Okay, all right. So once again, I'm not going to run through the whole chapter, but I'm going to talk about some highlights. First and foremost, we finally cut to, well, obviously last week Bakugo came in, it was very dramatic, and well, it wasn't last week, but it was the week before last. The last chapter, Bakugo came in, it was very dramatic. Lots of people excited. We got a nice color page here, featuring some core members and Tokiyami in the back. I see Deku ripping up his note. You can actually kind of read what it says. Secret in Class A is really all it says. Hope, smile, Kachan, thank you, everything. Cute little stuff like that. We get to see everyone's reactions, or at least a little bit of their reactions. They're all kind of talking, and they're like, hey, what are we gonna do? He's out there with the heroes. We can assume he's with the heroes because no one's picking any of the students that worked under Hawks and Tokiyami, Endeavor with Shoto and Best Jeanist. They're not answering their phones, so they're like, well, Deku's probably with them because All Might disappeared too. And they're like, we gotta help them. We gotta reach them. And then Ochako has a smart idea. By the way, Ochako in this chapter, kind of a bad bee. Ochako's always been, for the most part, ever since her fight with Bakugo very early on in the series, she's always been legitimately pretty hard when she wants to be. But this chapter especially, she's been very almost eerily emotionless to the point of where I'm very excited to see. We'll get there when we get there. Nezu calls up Endeavor because he's an alumni. He's like, hey, Endeavor, show up, I guess. I don't know what he's like. I have stuff to talk about. And Nezu's like, yeah, I tricked you to talk. They're like, hey, this is the stuff with Bakugo. He's like, you don't know Deku and All Might like I do. You just don't. You don't know them personally. A lot of other people, this would be the right idea. This is not the right idea for them. He will stop it. He doesn't care about himself. He will stop at nothing until he thinks he's finished with the hero work, and he's going to kill himself that way. And, he's right. We see him. It's happening. So Bakugo clearly does pay attention to Deku, at least in the slightest. Shoto yells at Endeavor. He's like, we're supposed to work together. What are you doing? We have to stop Toya. Why did you... And his Endeavor's just, doesn't really know. And Endeavor whips out, a phone GPS. Sero's like, yo, is that a GPS? Endeavor doesn't really react. This is the weird thing with Endeavor, right? He gets, disarmed by, some of the goons of Class A and Sero. But I don't think people are like, oh, Endeavor got blindsided. I just don't think he cares. Actually, he's just numb. He doesn't know what to do. He's probably feeling sad about his son. Their GPS, they kind of find it, and then they're like, hey, we don't know him too well, but we care about him. They're like, we're gonna go get him, and Edge's like, hey, if you can bring him back, you're welcome here. We're gonna try and bolster our security. We haven't trusted it yet, but it's pretty good. Now, I'm gonna bring this up a tiny bit, but it definitely was handled a lot better in the official translation, as it always is. But in the raws and the rough translations, it was really weird because it was more encouraging them to stay here because they were he was like, it's safe, UA's safe. But in the real one, he's more like, hey, we have a pretty good security system. You can bring him back, as opposed to yeah, go bring him back. Because it just sounded almost villainous, right? Because we know for a fact that there's no defense system that can stop Shigaraki if he really wants to get there. All right, I guess technically all for one, considering he broke into Tartarus, the most secure place in all of Japan. So obviously UA is not going to be more defense than that. That's just not, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, but definitely way less nefarious in the official translation. So there's a lot of people oh, is Nezu a traitor? Still a possibility, but not nearly as likely anymore. But because I was on the same boat. We cut back to the present. Turns out when Bakugo saved Deku, all of Class A is there. We see them all. You can actually count them out. They're all there. They're all there. You can't see Shoto, but you can see the ice wall, so you can assume he's there. There's a cute little scene where Momo goes Bakugo, and he's like, that's great explosion, murder god, dynamite to you. It's very funny. And then, okay, here we go. The juice of the... Did my voice crack? Oof. the juice of the chapter. We get a little drama. Ooh, I love it. Coming out the teat. Drama. Milk. My favorite. That was maybe one of the weirdest things I've ever said on the channel, but I'm not going to take it back. That's just who I am. This is another... Okay, so let's just break it down. First things first. Deku's... First of all, let's just... To get into... Let's understand Deku. What's going on with Deku right now. He's exhausted. He almost just died. Kinda. He has no idea what's going on. He's like very fatigued. He's like, why is everyone here? Ochako first. She says... She starts first. This is important. She tries her way, the calm way. As I said, almost too calm. Very little reaction coming out of Ochako the whole chapter. Which is legitimately exciting for next chapter. We'll get there. I have a feeling... Well, as I said, we'll get there. And then Deku's like, just get away from me. And then here comes Bakugo. This is so good. Okay, so Bakugo mocks him for being the inheritor of One for All. And he's like, hey, is anyone smiling now? And then Deku's like, we gotta protect the smiles. Gotta protect the smiles. And we're gonna go back to this page. And then he's like, you gotta get out of my way. He powers up. And then basically they're about to fight. So we have this I'm just trying to break all this down. Okay. First and foremost, once again, Ochako, throughout the entire thing, eerily calm. But I think there's a silent rage there, and I'm really hoping it comes out, because obviously we know that Ochako, for sure, has feelings for Deku. Like, that's not like a headcanon. That's just real. She does have romantic feelings for Deku. I'm so excited to see it come out, dude. I'm really hoping I want it to be raw. I want it to be real. And, so that's Ochako, right? Like, eerily calm, probably gonna explode at some point, but who knows? Bakugo notices that Ochako's like calm strategy doesn't work, as Deku's like, I gotta protect you, get away from me, you're dangerous. Bakugo immediately flips an action. He's like, I know I gotta start something. If you cover up, if you take your hand, you cover up half of Bakugo. Can I do it? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try. Bakugo very upset. Right? That's that half of his face. He looks like he's in anguish pain. Whoop. Looks like he's rubbing it in someone's face. You can see both reactions in Bakugo's face in this one panel. Hori is a god with the pen, bro. Like, you can see both Bakugo's like taunting face and his sorrow that he's clearly does care for Deku. And some people say it's romantic. I'm not gonna mock. We don't talk about ships here. Not important. But, you know, just saying, he doesn't know him better than anyone else. Anyway, irrelevant. And Ida's even there. Ida just looks sad the whole time, because this is like almost what Ida's been through this. Deku helped get him through this in a way. And they're about to throw down. We got Bakugo screaming at him to finally, get some of that anger out. You can see him looks like a freaking animal down here. Ida putting a reassuring shoulder on hand on Bakugo's shoulder, because Bakugo's clearly suffering, and I think he can tell. And then Ochako, once again, the deadly calm. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm so excited for this. One more thing I want to bring up. Deku versus 1A question mark? Okay, let's just get something straight right away. Hori's too good of a writer to have Deku just start beating the crap out of Ochako, right? Like, it's just not gonna happen. It doesn't. He just literally almost died because he refused to hurt civilians. He's not about to start throwing hands with most of his best friends. Bakugo's fought before, so that one I kind of like. Okay, maybe like I could see that round 3 happening, but he's not about to go beat the snot out of like Momo and Sero. Like, it's just not gonna happen. The way that I think this is gonna go is I think Deku's gonna try and run. And I think they're all going to, we're out of like a cute moment where like everyone does something to try and stop him. Maybe they succeed a little bit each time. They like catch him off guard. Once again, he's incredibly exhausted. So he's not at the peak. If they were to actually fight, I definitely would not have, I would say Deku loses this 100%. There's just too many people, and he's just too tired. Like, we literally almost passed out because he just got overcrowded. He's like, I'll think of something. We don't know the second uses quirk, so that could be a big game changer. Don't get me wrong. So is, what is it? Fujin? I don't remember. I should know that, but I don't remember. But don't get me wrong. I think if he was at full HP, I actually think Deku could probably do it. I think he'd struggle, obviously, when he gets to some of the higher tiers, but considering the only people I think even remotely close to being able to keep up with his speed are Bakugo and Ida. And Ida's not that much of a threat because Deku can Danger Sense and is like He has more range than Ida does by a significant margin. And I think he's just more versatile than Bakugo. But to be fair, Bakugo's quirk awakens. We don't know how strong Bakugo really is at the current moment. We can assume pretty close to Deku. If they're really fighting, Deku loses. But I don't think they're going to fight. I think Deku's going to try and run. Maybe they just slow him down. And eventually, because he's so tired and he's not like in it all the way, he's going to do something that accidentally really hurts one of his classmates. And it's going to like break him. Either out or it's going to break him further down. One of the two. I'm excited to see it. I'm so excited for next chapter. It's going to be so sick. No matter what happens. If we cut away now, I'm going to be mad because we've stuck with Deku for a long time. This is probably the biggest chapter we've had in a while. Next chapter could truly be nuts. I'm excited. If you're a fan of the manga, you're probably excited. And yeah, you should be here for when I talk about it because I'm excited to talk about it. I'll tell you that much. Oh boy. Anyway, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to do it for this video. I've already gone over the limit I typically set, but this is a really big chapter, so I'm going to cut myself some slack. I think that's fair. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. And I'll see all of you next time. Peace.